Well, hello, 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 hello. I have come home from work. I've been home for about 20, I've been home for a little while, so I've just popped on. So I apologize for the way that I look. I tell you, it's been very hard working the last few days because things have just been going crazier and crazier and crazier, right? I have not been, I've been really shocked by what I've been seeing. I cannot believe it to save myself. So we are hopefully going to try and see what's been going on. Hello, Heather Christine. How are you? I hope you're doing well. So I've just messed up my thing again. So I don't even know where to go, but we should probably start with Katie Joy's Instagram. Then we'll go to her YouTube. And then we'll go see what's been deleted because I think that's telling. And because I believe there was something that was put there. She had a go at one of the Duggar boys, and that post seems to have disappeared into the Twilight Zone. I keep checking the courts in Minnesota. I cannot see anything that's been filed, anything recent. So here we go. This is her Instagram. This is crazy. So yesterday she had about the Wilkins breaking their silence. Then so let's start back here. I mean, sounds like a lifetime ago. But the Wilkins family broke their silence about dancing for the devil. I shouldn't say with the devil, but each to their own. Okay, dancing for the devil. Thank you to Melanie Wilkindee and Kelly for bravely sharing your story and continuing to fight for Miranda and others trapped inside the group. Your bravery to speak out helped others free themselves from the group. Hopefully this series will compel more change and authorities to finally step in. Miranda and James have family and friends that will accept them with open arms without judgment. Leaving a high control group can feel impossible, but there is safety and acceptance on the other side, she says. It's so good that they've reunited with Miranda, sending everyone love. It's just for show, though. Whoever this Miranda Love Speckles says she only did that in the hopes that the family would back off and quieten down. It's very painfully obvious that he drills into her exactly what she's allowed to say. As long as he's in her head, she's not free and she's not her. The sudden backtracking from isolation from her family shows clearly just how manipulative
etc., etc. It's exactly the same as someone like me 20 years ago when in an abusive marriage I'd hang out or spend time with family. I'd been poisoned against them. He certainly isolated me from them as much. I'm not saying that it's not toxic or it's not any of this, okay? I'm not saying it is or it isn't, but I've not seen any evidence to the contrary. Great to see progress. The work is not done yet. Hopefully they all come out. They all come all the way out. It's hurt to watch that documentary and see my bro be dash a victim of something we've already experienced. We've already once experienced. I'm so happy for the ones that got out. And she goes, we will keep going until they are out. I don't know who that other guy is. So everyone's saying, you're just so good. So, right. So then we've got smear campaigns and tactics used by cults to attack and discredit whistleblowers, victims, journalists, or families. She's back to being a journalist again. That speak out against the group. For 2 years, Robert Shin has levelled a smear campaign against the Wilkins, former members, bloggers, and me. Apparently, she's singled out in an attempt to discredit, distract, project, and deflect. Their campaign is currently active. Robert Shin is using bot accounts, content creators, and fake accounts to stir up chaos, controversy, discord, and in an attempt to discredit the series. In the past 24 hours, these accounts have maligned survivors in the series, attacked production, and attacked the families. Their goal is to reverse the narrative. They want the public to believe this is one-sided, biased, and lacking credibility. Well, it sort of is, actually. They want to paint the victims and the production as real villains that are causing harm to cult members and trapped inside. As the series continues to gain traction all over the world, the cult is becoming more and more desperate to change the narrative. These screenshots from over 2 years ago, when Robert Shin made Miranda attack her family and me to try and switch the narrative. It's all about her, right? Her mentors made Instagram accounts to malign anyone speaking out. These accounts no longer exist. These posts were written by Miranda, but all of us knew none of these were penned by her. The mentors were writing on her behalf. Hi, Terry C. Today, there are comments on Reddit, Instagram pages, and YouTube content creators seeking to take down the series for Robert Shin. Smear campaigns can be effective sometimes, but this smear campaign by Robert is losing steam. The public has figured out exactly what kind of man he is, and every attack he makes on a whistleblower is a confession of his own misdeeds. Beware of smear campaigns. And someone says, would unfollowing them help? It would be interesting to see what happens if their numbers significantly dropped. And she said, yes. So, of course, now people are unfollowing the accounts. So, interesting. So, Gypsy Rose, then she did a story about Gypsy Rose, which I'm not really interested in for the purpose of this stream. She better have proof all these posts weren't written by Miranda, as she's well correct plan to create. Some of the other stuff is that I've seen today have been pretty damning. So this is Miranda.
To look presentable.
Portions of the following live streams were seen in Dancing for the Devil. These clips were provided to production by me in my work as an archival consultant. In 2022, Robert Shin forced Miranda to go live numerous times to prove the world that she wasn't in a cult. He also sent her to Michigan to meet with her parents. During their meeting, Robert instructed Miranda to demand the Wilkins remove their posts and live streams about the situations. Again, where's the proof? Who's told her this? Additionally, Robert wanted the Wilkins to cut off all contact with anyone that was reporting on the topic. My name was brought up during this meeting. How does she know? She wasn't there. The Wilkins refused to give in to Robert's demands. What followed was a pressure campaign by the group to force the Wilkins to back off. Eventually, Kelly removed her posts, but Melanie and Dean kept their posts up. Kelly unfollowed me for a time, while Melanie continued to direct people to my page for updates. Behind the scenes, we never lost contact and worked together to bring the story to a larger platform. The tactics by Robert only solidified, for many of us, the urgency to get this story out. We also knew, despite Miranda's public videos, that she was not okay. Thus far, Robert has not forced Miranda to do anything like this in response to the docuseries. Now, she has responded. This is Melanie Wilkins. See, I keep doing this all the time. I keep messing this up. Thank you for sharing your story, your tremendous strength. Robert Shin has spent years trying to smear you and destroy you in any way that he could. You have never given in to his games. Oh, there we go. He may have won the instant game, but those days are over. You are not alone in this fight. You now have an army to help keep this story alive. I will always have your back and fight for you and Miranda until she's free, and I won't stop until he's in prison. Oops. She won't stop until he's in prison, people. She won't stop. I won't stop. But what if he's done nothing wrong? How can I demand that somebody goes to prison if they've not done anything wrong? That's what I want to know. So this is Miranda. This is Melanie. Anyway, here she is.
I've loved reading all your messages, and just thank you guys so much for reaching out. And I think my favorite messages have been parents that have reached out to me saying that they have teen or young adult children and that they watch the documentary together and kind of sit down with their kids and gone through some of those red flags that you may see when it comes to high controlled environments.
High controlled environment, not a cult.
Their children on what to look out for, because this can happen to anybody.
She said high controlled environment. The dance industry is high controlled.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I just wanted to hop on here really quick and first of all say thank you so much to everybody who's been so supportive during this time. In the next couple slides, I've included my statement of this documentary that's just been released. I can't go into too much detail because of legal purposes, but I just wanted to add my side of the story a little bit. Thank you so much for taking a read. Have a great day. Bye.
Okay, so Miranda has now released the statement. This was Katie Joy's response to it. Please watch until the end. I respond to the statement. None of us believe it is written by Miranda. Her statement makes it clear she did not watch the series. That's not the impression I got. But anyway, if she did, she would have known the issues raised in the series had nothing to do with what she was mentioning. Robert Shin is blaming her parents, Melanie and me. This has been his MO since 2022. The only person Miranda is suing is me. Her lawsuit has nothing to do with this series. She's only added to Robert's lawsuit to try and stop her parents from speaking to me. Miranda is not suing production or her family. She can speak, but Robert won't let her. Well, they're not. We don't know. They haven't sued the production yet. That time will tell. That still may come. Robert views us all as evil. He will never acknowledge the crimes he's committed and will always attack and malign his victims. Miranda attacking her family is done by Robert, not by her. Robert wants the negative PR to stop. He wants her to still be profitable. Do not let him win. This series is not about Miranda and only Miranda. Robert is the one driving this narrative because he continues to be too much of a coward to actually speak for himself or turn himself into police. What is he turning himself into police for? And then someone says, I'm new here, and after watching the documentary, why is Miranda suing you? And she says, because Robert is an idiot. And then someone says, well, get Leah Remini involved. She goes, I think Leah's going first. Of course, it has nothing to do with this series because the series didn't show her side, only the side or narrative of KJ and the Wilkins. Correct. I think they're bothered with people telling her to get out. And she says, no, they are bothered because she isn't making money. That's tortious interference.
Her statement is filled with, in my best explanation, lies. Lies.
KJ says it's lies. And because people said they can't read it. So, hi everyone, I want to hop on here and say that I have seen the documentary. I wanted to start by saying that I appreciate the concern that has been expressed for my well-being. Due to pending litigation in which I am the plaintiff, I'll read this out for you. And you can tell me whether what Katie Joy says it says is what it says. She says, due to pending litigation in which I am a plaintiff in a defamation lawsuit, it is not appropriate for me to comment on specific allegations. Interesting. She's not talking specifically. She can't. Though I will state that I do not condone abuse in any way. I cannot speak for anyone but myself. I love my mum, dad, and Melanie, and they will forever be part of my life. The truth is, we just don't see eye to eye all the time. I believe, she says the word I believe, so she's stating it's her opinion. I believe that this documentary is one-sided story. I gave my life to Jesus Christ in 2020 and asked my family for some space in the very beginning to collect my thoughts and process my new walk. I wanted to take with God. I told my sister that I wanted to continue our Wilkins Sisters social media page. She logged me out of our account, and when I asked for access, she denied my request. So I had no other choice but to start my own account and pursue my own career. I have still yet to receive access to our account. My family didn't honor the space I asked for, and I saw a different side of them I've never seen before. Honestly, it made me mad, frustrated, and annoyed that they were being so overbearing and chaotic. In 2020, I went to Michigan to visit my family for Christmas. My papa was taken to the hospital due to medical issues. We got a phone call saying he had a short time before he'd pass. Melanie and I drove to the hospital to say our last goodbyes. Before we went to the hospital to do so, I started to pray for our papa in the car, and Melanie got offended, angry with me, and told me to stop and never pray around her. Our papa passed away that very day. Fast forward about a month and a half, Melanie and I are in LA and about to head back to Michigan for our papa's funeral. I was at a place with my family where I felt like I was being harassed. My parents and sisters are not religious. They immediately called me going to church twice a week, a cult. I felt that if I went back for the funeral, they would try to keep me there and not let me come back to LA. So I told my family that I would not be going to Michigan and that I wanted to move in and begin my life with James. To keep it simple, I did not want to be around them at that time because I felt threatened by them. I've been getting together with them over the past couple of years to make amends, move on, and work things out as a family. The documentary has created a further challenge between us as I work to overcome this public attack. No one likes to be betrayed as they're brainwashed, not in control of her own life, shell of herself, human trafficked daughter, sister, when that just isn't the truth. I'll add that I would have preferred my family's circumstances remain private. But I'm forced to defend myself because of all this. I can't convince anyone to believe anything. I'm just a woman trying to live my life. I am not a victim. I'm not in any harm. I am not being abused. I've never asked my family or anyone else to help me in any way. Respectfully, what I choose to do with my life is up to me. As I take time to process and reflect on this situation, I would appreciate your continued support. Thank you, Miranda Derrick. And that is what KJ has said is lies.
Lies that are being spun by Robert Shin. And I can say this with confidence because Miranda is a plaintiff in a lawsuit against me. The lawsuit she is suing me for has nothing to do with what was said by her family in the series. The lawsuit is not with her family. The lawsuit is with me. She could speak about all of this, every last word of it, because nothing that I said is a part of that series. The series are victims, Melanie, Priscilla, dancers, the Wilkins, the Rianos. There are lots of victims.
You can't say Melanie and Priscilla because they're not part of 7M. This is the bit that really annoys me. It does look like 7M and Roberto will be soon for Netflix. And I think that, well, what I'm interested in is whether they are going to slam dunk Katie during the process.
And she doesn't see that she's a victim. And right now, Robert is going to again attack and malign her parents as the problem and ignore everything else. She can say, he can write in the statement that she doesn't stand by abuse. I don't believe she watched this series. I don't believe that Robert would ever allow her to watch.
How does she know? Was she spying in the bedroom of the of the Derricks, is she, to know that they how do you know what she watched and what she didn't watch?
The series and continuing to blame her parents is.
She didn't blame her parents. She said that there's a dispute. She found religion. They couldn't understand that. And because they couldn't understand that, she's had to distance herself from them. Is that really too complicated? It's a simple, I would have thought.
Just, again, Robert trying to change the narrative. Blame.
Who's changing the narrative? You're the one that says she blames her family and me for the lies in the series. She's not actually addressed the series. She just gave an overview about her family. I think the most profound one was where she said she would have liked it to have been dealt with in private. And the only reason she's speaking out publicly is because they've of the series. And that she was trying to work through it all. What is their problem? What is the problem here? If she was trying to work through the family issues with the family, then what's the problem?
Me, blame the parents. He's been doing it. Miranda's statement is not written by her. I've spoken to so many people. We've all read it. We do not believe this statement is written by her.
Because, of course, Katie Joy knows Miranda really well. And so she knows what Miranda, how she writes and everything. Of course she does. How does she know?
You heard in Robert's words in the series that he described anything that was coming up against the Anointed as an attack. If she was not brainwashed, and if she was...
Well, what's this you're doing? You're attacking her. You're saying she didn't write this. You're actually saying you're attacking her for a statement. Terry says, yep, Netflix is next. Why can't KJ put so much effort into her child? Well, that's right. But you are attacking her. You've told people to unfollow her. You've told people that this isn't her. If that's not an attack, what is?
Thinking clearly, she would have watched what she saw in that series, and she would have felt the pain of the victims. Becoming a Christian does not mean you cut off your entire family.
Some people do because they're toxic. Want to talk about cutting off people's families? You can't criticize anybody for wanting to cut off their family when you've cut your own family off.
Becoming a Christian does not mean you die to everyone in your life. Becoming a Christian does not mean that you suddenly shun everyone in your life and treat everyone as though they're evil. But Robert makes people feel like they're better than everyone. They are anointed by God, and all of us are wicked and evil.
Well, you're behaving like you're wicked and evil. I can't believe this stuff.
And this is not an attack. And so again, Miranda didn't write this, and please don't let Robert Shin win by believing this.
Hey guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day.
So there you go. Don't let Robert Shin win by believing this. Don't believe it. What on earth? If that's not an attack, what is it? So you're implying that Miranda's a puppet and she can't think for herself and she's not intelligent. This is an advocate for women, by the way. So then she does. We've got to watch this. I don't know. No, she didn't read a prepared statement, Nikki. She posted a prepared statement. So she read a prepared comment talking about thanking people for their support, but she actually had written a prepared statement. I read it. I read it out, but yeah, I actually thought it was very well written. I was going to say my thought is that it was written by a lawyer. Just the way it was put together, or it was looked over by a lawyer because of the fact that she said because of litigation, I can't address. Oh, you mean KJ? Who knows with her? All right, so then she posted this. Check out my stories and my link. This is my official response. This will explain her allegations against her family and me. Suddenly, KJ is part of the Wilkins family. Please watch and share and make sure as many people see this. Honestly, why would they believe that Robert possesses the ability to send them to heaven anyway? All right. So then 7M's has come out and said, the Netflix document series is a slanderous work of fiction born from a failed extortion attempt and invented for the sole purpose of gaining fame and fortune. 2 years ago, Melanie Lee Goldman, Priscilla Lee, aka Alicia Priscilla Lee, and their co-conspirators launched a concerted smear campaign to defame Robert Shin, his family, and his business associates after Mr. Shin did not capitulate to Miss Lee's extortion demands. Despite sworn statements from conspirators that confirmed the scheme by Miss Goldman and Miss Lee to disseminate widespread lies, Netflix recklessly provided a global platform to peddle a false narrative that is at the center of ongoing litigation. We will continue to pursue all legal remedies available to stop the spread of salacious lies and expect to be fully vindicated in court. Now, Katie Joy says that this is Robert Shin being delusional. Now, don't forget that there's already been one failed lawsuit against Robert Shin. So she says Robert Shin's new narrative, the docuseries, is a smear campaign that has been crafted by two women who tried to extort him. He also plays the victim and states that he is the victim of slander and lies. Well, isn't he? Oh, hello. Okay, hang on. Okay, so then it says, just remember, Robert had the opportunity to respond to production, used his words, and we have the receipts back in translation, fraud, and money laundering. Well, they don't, because they were denied it.
Can I do it? Hold on, I'll shoot.
All right, I've got to go. I'll be back.